From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25-yard line. First time with Saquon Barkley. And some space here. Able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20. Bree's going to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
At the Vikings' 30-yard line.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. For the Vikings and Saints, you might recall, they battled in the wild card round a season ago, and it was the guys in purple who came in and pulled off the upset with Kirk Cousins fighting Kyle Rudolph in the end zone in overtime to sew up a 26-20 win. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 22. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Cousins pass.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
A gain of 4.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
6-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Cousins
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
At the 34-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Breeze. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I missed him, it would have been a
different story.
long night.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the run, it's Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Here's Breeze to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And my goodness, this is incomplete. It looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts.
I think I earned all my stripes. I don't believe all the hype. Get back on my feet and get right. Watch it work, watch it hate, watch it work, can't relate. Watch it skirt, after mud, after dirt, above the waters, in the mercy, after gate, all sight. Red, green, red, tight, set the one, take flight. Yeah, I've been grinding since a young and they told me. My timing was coming. I've been hustling with no fun and forget all the fame. Get the money, I'm out of that late when it's sunny. I've been eating since a youngin' since we ain't have food in our tummy. That life we was living ain't funny, but you cannot take nothing from me. Put that on my mama, my daughter, my cousin, my brother, I shoot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Brought him down.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Hill shedding the tackle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Saquon Barkley becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point? And that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Cousins on first down. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Marshawn Lattimore.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the 25 on second down, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's 3rd and 5.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Their own 33-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Barkley. After getting this one across the 40. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. From the gun, here's Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
At the 38.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Done.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to rifle, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there with touchdown. touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Saints 14, Vikings 7.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Breeze now. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that
and that's caught inside the 30. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
And the Vikings.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And it's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 3-yard.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Barkley. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And this carries into the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
7-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
1st down, Minnesota.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. He was held without a catch in the 1st half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Cook. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Cousins. And that is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Saints will have the football back. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll run with Barkley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
They go with Murray again. And a short gain down to about the 33. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after him.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Play action now. Cousins. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
The ball carrier.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
A 3-yard gain on the play. brings up
on third down, Cousins. And that is incomplete. It was Quincy Wilson that time was able to make the play defensively.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now Cousins on fourth down. It is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Saints touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Saints add on to their lead. Great call to hand that one off. And his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly. And on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play. And guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Take it in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
and the Vikings first down.
First down. Here's Cousins. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up second down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On second down, Cousins again. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Today's final
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Saints, the win is their 8th on the year, and they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.